So here we have a very simple problem. However, you've got no common factors, that there's no difference of squares, there's no perfect square, and well, let's just solve it. So one of the techniques that you've learned is to look for product and sum, and then you can split your middle term into those, and then you can factorize this further. So if you notice here, it's 1, right? X squared, you've got a 1 which is multiplying it. So if you get 1 and negative 18, if you multiply those, you will, well, realize that your product should be negative 18. And your sum is take away 7. So this number is quite small, right? Negative 18. You won't have many factors. But you can split into those factors and try and find which numbers are going to give you a sum negative 7. A few things which are important to observe. First one, since your product is negative, you have to remember that, well, if A and B were positive, well, if you multiply A and B, they're going to be AB. If you've got A and B both negative, and you multiply them, you will cancel out the negative sign, and you will also have a positive result, right? For you to have a negative number, you would either need for A to be negative or B to be negative, because then you would have negative AB. So why am I saying that? Well, because now that we're looking for negative. Now that we're looking for a number which is negative, one of the terms will have to be negative and one of the terms will have to be positive. So what we have to look for is which numbers multiplied give us 18, and then we can just make one of them negative. Since the sum is negative, well, the largest number is the negative one. So let's see. Product negative 18. I can have 1 times negative 18. But that doesn't work. Let's just do some of them. So 2 times negative 9 would also be negative 18. 3 times negative 6 would also give us negative 18. 6 times negative 3. But then we're just going backwards, right? Because then we could have 9 times take away 2 and 18 times take away 1, right? All those negative numbers we should ideally put in brackets. Now, well, first of all, since our sum is negative, we could just have neglected all those numbers in which the negatives are larger. But if we observe one of those answers, 2 and negative 9, the product is negative 18 and the sum is negative 7. So those could be very good candidates for our solution. So we can rewrite everything which is in here, and I'll write the solution just in a different color. So I can rewrite this as x squared. And now that I've found my numbers to be 2 and take away 9, I'll rearrange this as plus 2x and negative 9x negative 18. All right, so if you notice 2x minus 9x, that's minus 7x. So this is basically the same thing. I've just added 2x and subtracted 2x as well. Now if we collect like terms with those first 2 and those last 2, so the first couple ones, I would have x as a common factor, and then this is x plus 2. Here on the second factor, all of them are negative, and well, I can easily see that this is negative 9 times x, this is negative 9 times 2. So I could factorize negative 9, and then negative 9 times x, and negative 9 times plus 2. Now, look at the magic happening. I've got x plus 2 here and x plus 2 here, so I can collect x plus 2 that comes from each of those 2 terms. And on the first one I have x left, and on the second one I have negative 9 left. And that's our final answer. And that's it.